Hello. Oh my gosh. Hello. I need my microphone. My goodness. Hello. Welcome. If you are excited to learn about personal branding, how to live your life fully, more completely, more fulfilling, you are in for a real treat because I am so excited to be interviewing my guest today. If you don't know me, I'm Kate Volman. Welcome to my channel. I share a lot of content on how to live a more creative and fulfilling life. I share book recommendations, journaling prompts. So if you're into that type of content, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Over the past couple of months, I've been streaming my podcast here on my YouTube channel. So that's been really fun and interesting to do. So if you are interested in just kind of having conversations about creativity and leadership, then you can find the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. And today I'm especially excited because I get to interview one of my friends, Ramon Ray, and he is incredible. He and we've known each other. I feel like I've known him way longer than I have. I really do. But you're in for a real treat because this man has so much energy. It's insane. He's a treat. All right, Ramon Ray is an in-demand expert on small business success and founder of smarthustle.com. He has started 4 companies and sold 2 of them and is a 4-time author, 4 times. Ramon's latest book, Celebrity CEO, is all about personal branding. So we're going to dive into that a little bit today. Ramon inspires and educates thousands of business owners a year and works with leading brands to help them reach small businesses. Ramon has such interesting, fun little facts. He has been invited to testify at the United States Congress and speak at the White House. He's shared the stage with some celebrity business thought leaders such as Seth Godin, Simon Sinek, Gary Vaynerchuk, and others. So exciting. And he has also interviewed all 5 sharks from Shark Tank, including Damon John, Barbara Corcoran, Lori Greiner, Mark Cuban, and Robert Herjavec. I'm so jealous about that. That's amazing. And he's also interviewed President Obama. I mean, seriously, so incredible. Please welcome my friend, Ramon Ray.
Hey, Kate. What's up, Kate? Thanks for having me, Kate. Thanks for all you do. And thank you for this time spent with you and, more importantly, sharing with your community. So what's up, Kate Bowman? Good to see you.
What's up? I'm so excited to chat with you. Okay, first of all, your fun facts are very fun. And I need to know, if you were going to get a deal on Shark Tank, which of the sharks would you want to deal with?
Taking a slight breath. Let me start from, may I play a little game here?
Sure.
Okay. It wouldn't be Kevin O'Leary. Great guy, billionaire like everybody else, just the vibe, but hey, Kevin O'Leary, if you're listening to this, I like you. It wouldn't be Robert Herjavec. Nice guy, but just vibe, just like. And I've interviewed him before, 2 or 3 times. So but just whatever reason, I don't know. Then Damon John, great guy as well. I've been in the room with him many times, but I know he's like fashion focused and he's out there a lot. So I probably wouldn't mind him, but you can hear where I'm going with. Oh, Barbara Corcoran. I've been in the room with her and she told me her first boyfriend was named Ramon. So she has the marketing chop. She seems fun, but not quite, for whatever reason. I don't know my favorite, but if I could slip 2 in there, Kate's question, I would probably go with Lori Greiner, only because when we were together, I interviewed her. It just had like the most fun with her. But for whatever reason, Mark Cuban, maybe because he's the big dog, the OG, been around the longest, like when he sold, the audio company, not YouTube, but whatever the audio company was years ago. Just like his vibe, his book, his hustle. So that's what.
Oh my gosh. So those are my 2. Those are my 2. If I could have a deal with anyone, those would be my 2. Now, I don't have a product, so I have no reason to go on to Shark Tank, but man, I just think that would be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, Ramon, you have the most high level energy of anyone ever. You have so much energy. You're so excited about life. You just bring so much light into the world. So I'm curious to know, for you, what does living and you are extremely creative. So what does living a creative and fulfilling life mean and look like to you?
Wow, that's a big question, Kate. That's a big question. I hope you share with me your thoughts on that too. But I think, Kate, think it would have to mean a fulfilled life and creative life. I think that was a question. I think it'd have to be a few things. I don't know. Not taking yourself too seriously. I think that's one. And this is also assuming that basic needs are met. Let me give that qualification. I know your heart's the same. If you're jacked up, jammed up, you don't have a place to stay or whatever, you got to do some other things. So assuming people like me and Kate, we got food on the table, we got milk in the fridge, even though it's only a weeny teeny amount because somebody didn't tell us it was out, but we're good. So I think it's really not taking yourself too seriously. For me, having a fast laugh, being able to give to others, serve others, looking out for the person. Kate, just now, I know this is live, an hour before your call, I had a life-changing conversation with a big company about a big deal they want to do with me. And what they said, Ramon, we even like your vibe and mojo, because even though we're talking transactional, Kate, and maybe I shouldn't do it, but I was like, you know what? I want to be sure it's fair to you all too. So it sounds weird because that's me. Maybe I shouldn't look out for them like that because they're the big company. I should try to suck in. No, I want as much as I can get. But that doesn't feel fulfilled. I want Kate to win. I want her to feel that she's getting something. I don't want to just suck her money from her. So that's a long answer, Kate, but that's how I feel fulfilled, I think. Not taking myself too seriously and being aware I want the other person to win too. Let's both win. Why not?
Yeah, well, that's awesome, Ramon. And you really do have a heart to serve. You can tell in the way that you interact with people. And you're such an incredible entrepreneur. You have started 4 companies, sold 2. How did you start your businesses? What got you into entrepreneurship?
Sure. Of recent days, I'll answer that from I'll answer in reverse order, but of recent days, I think I realized my forte, what I like to do is bringing eyeballs or bringing people more than eyeballs together and monetizing that through large brands. Sometimes I wish, Kate, you and I are in similar circles, right? Similar friends and in a big community we're in, but courses and coaches, consultants, people don't know, but a secret, I don't do any of that. I wish I did because I'm leaving money on the table, but I just haven't unlocked the thing to, me and my 10 girlfriends are going to Miami. They all pay me $40,000 each. And that's my highest level. And then I have my coach. That's great. I just haven't done it. But what I do well is, okay, Kate Volman can connect me to Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. Is a fee. I have to come up with 100,000. But Kate Volman said, Ramon, I can connect you to them. Okay. Let me now go to my big brand sponsors and tell them I'm going to put together the small business, pick your big celebrity person awards and do that. So my point is, my forte and what I do is bringing together people and monetizing that with large brands. So that's one, if I've answered that. And then I think how it started, Kate, was a technology consulting company. I'm the kind of guy, I bet you have a guy or gal like that in your life, Kate. Do you remember way back then, the person who was playing with electrical transistor kits while people were outside playing ball? You know that guy? You got him in your head, that guy or girl?
Oh, yeah, we all know that guy.
the girl you gave her a Barbie house with the new lights in it that nobody else had lights for Christmas, and you came back an hour later and she had taken it all apart because she wanted to rewire. That's the kind of person I am, Kate. So I had a technology flair, started a technology business, then started a blog, smallbiztechnology.com, then started an event business, and then now Smart Hustle. So I hope that's helpful.
That's so cool. I love that. And, I think in your space, because you help a lot of small businesses, and I love when you share. So Ramon does a segment or a couple segments, I think, on Clubhouse in Breakfast with Champions, and which obviously listeners of the podcast, they're probably like, yeah, we get it. We know, like, so many, I bring a lot of people on from Clubhouse, but I love how you talk about helping small businesses, and you're not the guy that's going to teach a company how to go from to 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 million. You really help the small business owner, which I love because there's such a place for that. So in this world where I feel like so many people talk about you have to get to that place in business, what are your thoughts and what advice can you share for people that are like, oh my gosh, what if I don't want that? Is that weird?
Yeah. And it could be, Kate, it could be my quote unquote imposter syndrome. So I'm happy to talk about that, about my own limiting beliefs. Could be, but turning it for the positive, I just feel to get to $1 billion or 100 million. And Kate, even because you run a business, right? So even 5 to 10 million, Kate, that's, hey, what's up, Kim? Welcome. That's doable. It's not like undoable. 5 to 10 million is not a big business. Many smaller business owners have it, but in my circle, I'm looking at people that are like trying to get over 100,000. And I find that if you can build a business that's 500 to 1,000, $500,000 to $1 million, which I think is doable for the average hardworking entrepreneur who's got it together, highly profitable, Kim, that's a good life for if it makes sense, many Americans, meaning get into Elon Musk or even the big influencer, lipstick influencer, fashion influencer, you could do it. But I just find that sweet spot of 500,000, 800,000, highly profitable. That's my people. That's my people. If that makes sense, that's why.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. And I really love when you talk about it because I think it brings it home to what's really important.
Yes.
Right? It's like, what are the priorities? If your priority is to build a $10 million business, that's amazing.
Yes.
Go after it, do it. You can make it happen.
Right.
It's just a different life.
Yes.
You're leading a different life. And so I think it's just, it's that self-awareness, which I think you have a lot of it. And it's not something that everyone has. So when I think about business or even just creativity and kind of doing more of the work that we really want to be doing, right, how did you come to that place of being so self-aware that you knew what was for you and what wasn't for you? That's
a good point, Kate. I wanted to go back to something you said just now, but I think it may tie into this question. I think I'm also speaking to people who are like me, if that makes sense. And I think not everybody can do that. But I think that for me, I find it most comfortable. I'm Ramon Ray. As Seth Godin says, I'm waving the flag of how Ramon is. So my point being, Kate, is that I'm in that demographic. This is my home office. This is Smart Hustle headquarters. Welcome. I don't get on a highway every day. I have a small team of contractors, and I don't make any bones about it. Nope, not payroll, just contractors. That's it. So meaning that's my life. I like to be able to say, I'm going away for 2 weeks, going away for a week. Yep, probably have a laptop with me, do some work at a typical 10-hour day away. I have no problem waking up in the morning, doing some work, and in the evening, but that's the life I enjoy. So no, I'm not trying to do a 4-hour work week, but as somebody said today, 1 or 2 hour a day work week. Oh, sign me up for that. That to me sounds very practical. 2-3 hours a day. That's a good life. So I think I answered that question. And what do you think about it, Kate? Does that make sense? What I'm saying is that,
yeah. Oh my gosh. Totally. And I think one of the things that I find so interesting especially because there's so many different personalities, like, right, you go out and you speak at different events, you're in front of a lot of different people. There's a lot of those people have very similar interests of what they're trying to accomplish. When you're out there speaking and you're talking to so many people, what do you feel is the biggest frustration for people right now when it comes to really not just building their business, but living a more fulfilling life overall?
Yeah, that's a big question. I think that it depends on who it is, but I think that for business owners, I'll stay there. I think it's just many people are struggling. Well, let me pick one frustration that I see of business owners, especially those who are starting out, is just how do I start? And the mixing up separation. Is this a hobby or is this a business? I often hear things like, Kate, such as, what, Ramon, okay, you've gotten sponsors, Ramon. How can I get sponsors to support me too? No. I don't know if you picked that word up, Kate. Sponsors to support me too. Sponsors are not supporting you. People who are working with Kate, I'm not doing it. Oh, Kate, I want to get more dog food for your puppy. So I'm going to get a $10,000 retainer from you, Kate. Heck no, purely selfish. Can Kate help me? I don't give a darn. You get what I'm having some fun. You get what I mean about you. So that's one frustration. If it makes sense that I'm trying to help here, is that just when people have that mindset of, oh, okay, can you, hey, Ramon, now if it's support, it's support. We're friends. Kate has a new book. Ramon has a new book. Could you support me in that way? Retweet. That's separate. But the generally speaking of, oh, they didn't buy my new pen that came out. It makes toast and flips up and down. Kate didn't support me. No, she didn't like your pen. It wasn't for her. So that's, I think, one thing distinguishing. Are you in business to make money and serve a customer? Or are you looking for support or save the whales, save the world, no plastic? And I say that because I'm just going to trigger some people. That's good stuff. But let's build wealth first. Let's make money, build a business. Then we can have the finances to do whatever we want. So that's why when I said plastic, I know it's a real thing, but I said it intentionally because I want to provoke people. Calm down. Build a business first. Then you can donate to nonprofits. Donate to anti-abuse victim things and all the things that Kate and I love to do. but you have to build a business.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so much of what we talk about on this show is, I mean, look, the show is called Create for No Reason, right? It's like about creativity and doing stuff that you love to do.
Right.
So there's a difference between building a business and doing things just for the fun of it.
For no reason.
For the blog, right?
That's
Like
exactly
starting a
right.
blog, starting a podcast, doing all these things. Now, could those things turn into a business down the line? Absolutely.
Indeed.
But for some people, just starting something like that, it's their creative outlet.
Correct.
Which is important overall in your business, in the work that you do, because you need to have that outlet.
Correct.
So what is that for you, Ramon? What do you kind of create for no reason, just for the fun of it?
Yeah, I think what it is, and I have to be careful this because I've gone into the trap that I've just said not to do, Kate. I've gone into that trap. I like buying domain names and making blogs. People, I hope that doesn't sound too corny, people. But I buy domain names and make blogs, which generate zero money. And I end up then going to my wife or family or crying, oh my God, we have no money because daddy just spent money. And I'm like, why did I start this? So that's one. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm a pretty bored person, Kate. You know, I like domains. But for fun though, you know, I like to, my dream, Kate, here's what I would do. My dream, what I'm going to do. I use the word dream to Kate. Wow. Okay. Ironically, but is probably, I like hikes, probably like going to hike, go in the woods, like, you know, where it says danger, bears here, don't cross over, going over there. That's kind of what I want to do.
That's what, all right. So you can find Ramon on a hike where you shouldn't be hiking.
The sign says mountain lions, please, you know, stay in your car. Ramon will not be in the car.
He will be with the mountain lions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I think it's interesting too. It's almost like, again, it goes back to self-awareness, because for me, as same with you, I feel like my creative pursuits, those things that I love to do, to most people, they are work, because I like writing and podcasting and video creation and things that, yes, in some way they're related to the work that I do. And but to other people, it's, singing, dancing, cooking, gardening, it's other things, which is wonderful for them. And so I think some people have judgment around that.
That's true. Yeah. They don't understand. They don't understand it. Remember, our mutual friend, Marvin, we had that thing of, everybody can pick their own. I remember discussion with him, but one thing I will add, Kate, as well, I can remember going back to how my best enjoyment, it may not be the same context, but I used to work at the United Nations, and I would take like an hour, sometimes a 2-hour lunch break. And during the United Nations General Assembly, where all the heads of state gather, all I would do is stand by a window and watch Secret Service men and women secure dignitaries. I love that.
No.
Just, yes, close protection detail all day long. Like watch Ambassador so-and-so, the ambassador level they didn't have security for, but President of Iceland, 2 security guys. President of Turkey, 10 security guys. President of Israel, 5,000 security guys. Just, watch them all. President of Gambia, like nobody, I'm teasing, but like to watch the threat levels and all that, how they come in, but you can see I'm already getting into it. So that all day long, I could watch bomb sniffing dogs, anti-sniper, all those things. I could watch it all day.
So, see, like, it's so fascinating. People are so interesting. Like, we all just love the things that we love for whatever reason. And that's so cool. Now, you are a 4-time author, which is amazing. I have your, check it out, the Celebrity CEO. So cool. I love it. So your writing process, I know a lot of people, they have a dream of writing a book. It is a lot of work. So talk about, do you have a specific writing process? I mean, you've written 4 books. Like, writing 1 book is incredible, but 4. So do you have a specific writing process to get your books done?
I do. And I'll tell you a secret, Kate, my secret, but you can't tell anybody, Kate. This is just between you and I. Just between you and I. Okay. But really, so I do a lot of writing. I've probably written 15 to 20,000 blogs in my life, give or take, maybe in hundreds of thousands of words, short form blog posts. So I do like writing to a degree. But the more so thing I like, Kate, is the headline. That's what I do pretty well. Headlines, things that grab attention, and the overall idea of where it's going. So I do see myself in some way like a content producer, content director. Can I act? Sure. But I'm more so like, okay, I can dream, I can vision it and dream it. Here's exactly what the components should look like. But tell you the truth, Kate, somebody else can help write the nitty-gritty details. That's for me. For some people, it's a huge passion. They want to get involved in it. So my secret is I don't like it. Now, Celebrity CEO, I wrote Celebrity CEO. But I must say, let's say there's a story in there about somebody had a cool personal branding story. And I already know the story, the speeds and feeds, what date it was. Kate, I don't got to write that. I can get a team member writer, say, listen, here's my girl, Kate. She did this. Now, Kate and I would call you if it was you, but get what I mean. Can you just call Kate and get me 2,000 words on her story? That's the secret, Kate, right there. So does Ramon really like writing and journaling and doing it? Not so much, but the idea. Okay, you know what? Oh, yeah, I got it. Kate has this cool thing she does, this thing, whatever. So I'll stop there. Is that helpful? So I write, but I don't have no shame in getting others to help you flesh out longer pieces, or especially a lot of things I do, Kate, are kind of evergreenish. It's not one day when I was a boy, me and my mama were walking in the park. She grabbed my hand and she looked at me and said, RR, you gonna... I don't have stories like that. Mine are like 4 ways to do TikTok, 3 ways to how to network better at events.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's no, you know what? That doesn't surprise me because this is what you're so good at. You're good at finding people that do the work that you don't want to do. And you're good at creating these websites. Like that to me is so fascinating to be able to just like have in fact, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, oh, maybe I should like just come up with some new website and like just get pay people to write blogs and do all this.
Kate, I bought the domain zoneofgenius.com. Please, nobody go there yet. It's like a tarot. It's not even ready. Please don't go there. But zoneofgenius.com. And at the height, I hired 5 to 6 writers. Ironically, all happened to be from African countries. Why, I don't know. But the point is all African countries. And I let some of them go. And many of them were so good. And we have, I think, 50 to 60 articles on there already. Guess what? Most written by them. So I move fast, and I'll probably build that site up in a bit, working on some other deals. But is that helpful? So yeah, to your point, I have the structure. I gave guidance. I wrote the first one. I said, hey, this is where I want to go. Gave them a template. They went off and wrote it. And then I just approved. Like, don't like, don't like. Fill the site up. Thanks, Kim.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, it like makes me, oh my, that's like a whole other thing. I can't do that right now. I have things going on, but I feel like that is a project that I think would be really fun to do.
Yes, indeed.
So your book, you talk about personal branding. Why was it important for you to write this book? And why is it so important for people to have a personal brand today?
Absolutely. And I think that some companies don't need it. $billion brands, as it were, hundreds of millions, whatever, the Starbucks or Coke or PayPal's. Nobody really cares about the founder, the people. We go there. It's a different type of brand experience. A lot of marketing involved. The best part of waking up is
Folgers in your cup.
We all know it. Kate doesn't even know who wrote the song, nor does she care.
Nope.
But Kate would be like, Ramon, I do. It's my great grandmother. But who wrote the company? We don't care. But for us smaller people, Kate, personal brand's important. Yeah, I have a company, Smart Hustle Media, Inc. Sure. But for the most part, Kate, the large tech brand clients that work with me and buy what I do, it's Ramon. They know the brand Ramon. I'm no Inc. I'm no entrepreneur fast company. So if that's helpful. So I think the reason I have personal brand is, one, as very small business, especially less than $1 million, less than 2, 3, 4, 5 million even, we are one of the best assets for the brand, in addition to our team members. But we're the best asset. Our face, us being out there on podcasts, on videos, thought leadership articles, that's one. And I think point 2, I wanted to really share the concept that I think I've honed, Kate, and that's 2 things. Both kind of mean the same, but one is ask for a smile before you ask for a sale. Take that to whatever metaphor or reality you want. That means before I'm like, hey, Kate, can you buy my pen? Can you buy my pen? Laugh, tell her my story. Let me connect. How are you, Kate? You have such a beautiful, radiant smile. Okay, because the pen is irrelevant to a degree. It's who is she going to buy it from? So that's number 2. Ask for a smile before you ask for a sale. And then the last point really hones in on that is build a community of fans that you nurture to a sale. And you know this well, Kim, right? Kate, we've talked about this quite a bit. So once you're in my funnel, and this is getting kind of marketing technical, but the concept real. Once you're in my funnel because you like what I'm doing, then you're going to buy from me. And I'm a member of your newsletter. Actually, I was going to shout it out today, Kate. I was going to bookmark something you had. You had 5 journaling is one thing you put in there today. This recent newsletter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I read. I'm a reader of the Kate Volman newsletter. So I get it. And I read it. I liked it. You had 5 or 6 quick tips on something. I don't remember what it was, but going back to what we're talking about, right? I may not remember the detail in the newsletter. That's important to remember, and I should. But what's more important in this little example, I know Kate did it. I know the branding kind of has pink or fuchsia. And if a year from now, okay, what's her name? I forgot. Okay, that newsletter. My brain will bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example of personal branding, which I went way off the reservation. Kate asked me the question here, and I went like way down the block. Sorry about that.
And that's all good. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be what it's supposed to be.
Good.
What do you find today is when you watch people on, on social media and newsletters and all this stuff, what are some of the mistakes that you see people making when it comes to personal branding?
Wow, that's a great, and I think, Kate, it's so hard to say because I think that everybody likes what they like. But I find that many people are just trying to copy everybody. I find TikTok, some things are funny, but I wonder, is there a limit of we're all pointing to the thing that goes dun, dun, dun? That's just me. That's me. So I think that's one. I think two, and going to the same thing, worried about everybody else. I get it, especially when you're new. But listen, Kate can never be Ramon. She can learn from Ramon. She can say, okay, I like those 1 or 2 things he does. Let me try to emulate that in a good way, not stealing it. I like that. Ramon, I can never be Kate. Can't do it. But okay, Kate did 5 tips on her Monday or Friday, whenever it came out newsletter. I like how she did that. Let me emulate that. But I think that too many people were trying to look at the other. Let me do exactly what they did. You can't, which goes back to those people that are say Kajabi. Oh no, everybody has to use Kajabi. No, if you don't use Kajabi, you're a moron. Oh no, it's MailChimp. MailChimp is it. Mac. You have to use a Mac. How can you even breathe without a Mac? Those things. Some things maybe, but generally speaking, Kate, people who are social media and the things we're doing, be you, as Glenn says, you do you, boo, right? And I'm a firm believer in that.
You, boo. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so interesting because there is just so much out there.
Yes.
It is so hard to focus and play the long game. Right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
focus on, I'm going to do videos on Instagram or I'm going to do TikTok or whatever it is, because we get so shiny object syndrome and we kind of like go all over the place.
That's
and
right.
So I think the people that are super consistent, those are the people who win.
Yeah, consistency is important. And I mean, it doesn't mean you can't change or morph or do whatever, but I think you're right, Kate. It's if you, and especially again, hopefully this is for your newer audience can listen to this podcast with Kate. But I think that, yeah, you're going to you listen to me, listen to Kate. We're going to tell you 50,000 different things. Kate's going to use this email. I'm going to use that. I think Kate uses MailChimp. I use this. I use that. And the best people will say, here's what I do, what works for me, and here's the principle you can learn from it. So Kate may say left, Ramon may say right, but both of us will say, whatever you do, be profitable. Now you can go left, you can go right, don't matter. As long as you're profitable, for that silly example. That's what you want to, the people you're listening to, I think the best person, they'll tell you how they've done it. That's all I can speak to. But I hopefully will give you a nugget like this show we're doing here. Whatever streaming version you use, the key is be consistent and do it, as an example.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good point. I feel like so many people were like, we just want you to tell us what the answer is. And we feel like there's this magic bullet. There is no magic bullet, people. If there was, somebody would have found it and made a lot of money doing it.
It'd be called magicbullet.com. You would come and ask them your question, you'd be a billionaire. Seth Godin says it all along in his amazing voice. Some of you are looking for the answer. There is no answer. There's no magic bullet. You just have to ask the right questions. That was a bad mimic of Seth Godin, but something like that.
Speaking of Seth Godin, I know that you have done some work with him. You've also been on stages with him and Gary Vaynerchuk and really incredible people. Who are some of the people that you really watch and learn from as you're kind of building your career and personal brand?
Yeah, I mean, being one who works with speakers, because I produce my own events and I hire or ask friends to come and just work with me and barter their time. But that, and as one who is a speaker. So yeah, I've been on green rooms and on stages with some of the best speakers. I'm rarely impressed by speakers, not in a bad way, but meaning it's just since I'm in the soup. But if I had to think of 2 of my favorite people, and there's so many great speakers, so I'm leaving somebody out. But Seth Godin, yeah, he happens to be. I just like his style, his mojo. I kind of, and now since I'm a bit older and wiser, I have my own style. But especially learning from him, his slides. That was somebody I looked to, like, oh, I don't have to have 75 bullet points in one slide. I can just have a picture of a big, fat, juicy apple and a little boy holding it. Oh, that's why I do it. So I think that, and Steve Harvey, I think his humor, his laughability, his quick laughter. I think that I like that. And, and he's a professional comedian, just as another learning point. I'm not a comedian. I like to have fun indeed, but I honor comedian is an art, like public speaking is art. That is a science. That is a job, a discipline. I'm not a comedian, but the point is learning from him, just his smoothness is kind of, and me and my wife were watching some, the big wheel that spin the wheel, not Family Feud, but they run up to the stage. Come on down.
Oh, The Price is Right.
Price is Right. Thank you. So we were watching something like from 1920s or something. I don't know, some old version on Netflix with it. We have a series like the Price is Right classics, and even Bob Barker, whoever it was, that same thing runs through them. That kind of that fast laugh, that obvious humor. You don't have to try for it. Kate said, hey, my dog barked at me. And you turn back and go, ruff, ruff. It sounds silly here, but you just flow. You just flow. So I kind of like that with Steve. You don't try hard to be impromptu. You just go with the obvious. So I like that.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. What do you find particularly interesting right now?
Well, if I can I take it to a negative way? Kate, can I do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's not on brand, but
you know what? You're right. It's not on brand.
No, do it.
But I'll end it on a positivity. How about that? I'll end it on positivity. How about that? So I find what's interesting is the divisiveness of our country. That's really what I want to say is on my mind, just how we're all polarized. But I think what's hopeful is the more of us that get on platforms like this and speak out and have a good time and show people, yeah, the world's kind of sucky, but that's often the polar opposites of either way you want it. But there's people like me and Kate that can bring hope back to the world. How was that, Kate?
Oh, yeah. See, that's on brand. That's on brand.
Yeah. But I find a lot of things interesting. I mean, for me, it's just, I like entrepreneurship. I find that's interesting. And another thing I do find is thank you for allowing me just to go anywhere the conversation goes, but I think there's so many people that are hurting. And we have mutual friends. We've heard their stories, some of the most successful people who had jacked up lives, but that everybody can start a new chapter. So I find that interesting, but you often need external help, therapy or something to help with that. But that's what I find interesting is that the amount of people who've had some jacked up, terrible fathers and mothers and aunts and uncles, sadly, but yet with the right help and their willpower, they can bloom to a beautiful flower.
Yeah. Ramon, if you could gain one skill overnight, just like magically, what would it be?
Wow, Kate, one skill. Now, could this be like a Marvel comic skill or a real skill?
I meant a real skill, but now I want to know your superhero skill.
Marvel comic one, probably read minds or something like that. That's the ultimate power. Read minds, I think.
I don't know about that one. I feel like in theory it would be good, but maybe too much.
You may go like because every power has a pro and a con, right?
Correct.
The person who's the strongest, they have to keep them in a straitjacket, like, and say, Kate, we're only going to let you, Kate, we're going to let you out now. Kate, use your power. My camera goes off there. But I think my professional skill set, Kate, probably, I got to think about that a bit. Be more financially astute. If I was automatically not a math genius, I don't want to go that far, but just a bit more strategic. Thankfully, yes, Kate, I get some kudos for being in business, started 4 companies, sold 2, but I could be more strategic because I made a lot of mistakes. I do stupid things. I act very impulsive. So between financially astute and being a bit more strategic, then I would like that, but not at the expense, Kate, of losing myself. So it's like if Kate, Ramon, you have a pill. You're going to lose the Ramon Woo, which StrengthsFinder says I have in my view of life, but you're going to be super strategic, but you'll always walk around like this. And you'll have a British accent. Hello, my name is Ramon Ray. I can super triangulate exactly how to run any business because I'm the smartest man in the world. If I have to choose between that and hey, everybody, what's up, Kate, man? Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be strategic. Then I'd have to let that go.
No, that's who you are. You got to that is you all the way. I absolutely love it. All right, Ramon, speaking of your brand, if you've done incredible things. You speak, you get to work with really cool people, you've done all these businesses. What do you want to be known for?
Wow. My deepest desire, Kate, besides my faith, I happen to be a Christian, besides my deep faith in God, I think beyond that, I want to impact lives, Kate. And I know you don't think I'm saying this corny. Many people say it, Kate, but really what drives me a lot, I want wealth. Not that you have to have wealth to change the world. Mother Teresa didn't, but my point is that that's my journey. I would love, Kate, so many hurting people just to go to a school and say, listen, your tuition's paid for. To go to some single dad, single mom, listen, and say, I'm almost crying as I say it, just to tell her, I bought you a house. To hear somebody on the train saying, dang, I don't have any money for Thanksgiving. And just say, we bought the whole train Thanksgiving. It's done. So to impact, and it doesn't have to be well known, because I know a lot of billionaires, and I know you give money too, but meaning we all give and help others. But if I had to pick it, that's what I'd want to do for the rest of my life. I wish I had the means just to build, like like a few foundations, like there's Rockefeller Foundation, I think, or Ford, some focus on malaria, things like that. That's not my jam, but more so city poor people, if that makes sense. Not like somebody making wheat and rice and penicillin. There's room for that, but more so me like partnering with Kate and saying, okay, Ramon, we've identified 4,000 people. They have no food. Let's build a program that can feed them for the next 3 years and train them. Something like that.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh, you're so great. I always ask my guests to share one activity that the listeners can do in 10 minutes or less to help them live a more creative and fulfilling life.
Sure. Turn on your birthday notifications, which Facebook probably already has on by default, or Google has, or as you hear people say it's their birthday, put them in your Google Calendar on annual repeat. That takes 1 minute a day, 2 minutes a day, very passive. Here's the secret. When it's somebody's birthday, put your WhatsApp voice on or Facebook Messenger and sing them a quick birthday message. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Kate, I just wanted you to know I appreciate you and I wish you the best on this day. If you do that once or twice, whatever it is per day, your life will be so enriched. So enriched. That's what I do.
Oh, Ramon, you're so awesome. I love it. Well, I am so grateful to have you on the show. I know that the listeners enjoyed just your energy. I mean, your energy alone is fire. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. You have your own newsletter that goes out on Sundays. Tell people how they can get on that newsletter and where they can connect with you.
Sure. If you go to RamonRay.com or SmartHustle.com, you can pretty much find anything there is to know about Ramon Ray.
Amazing. And if you need some jolt of energy in the morning, then you need to join Ramon on Clubhouse. When are your sessions?
7:30 a.m. on Monday. Either session, I'm filling in for great friends like Kate and others who are making too much money. They're like, Ramon, you know what? I got a $10 billion client deal. Can you get in, Ramon? Could you just, fill in for me there? So that's when you find me on this thing. But 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday mornings.
Oh my gosh. Monday morning. See, we need a quick fix of Ramon to start our week. Ramon, you are awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. And we will see you next time.